booking ourselves out, without growing our teams. I think that everybody's different. Everybody is unique. And one thing that I know that I want and I crave in my own business is I crave for simplicity. Like, this is I feel like the word of the year. I want simplicity. I want to be able to have a life that truly allows me to feel like, okay, this is, this feels good to me. This feels simple to me. I don't have to have a team with 50 members to be able to grow. I don't have to have all of these crazy things to be able to expand or to be able to make more money or whatever that is. And that truly for me is what drives me a lot of times, right? Like, how do I grow my business without having to grow parts of my business that I don't really want to grow, if that makes sense? And let me know if this is resonating with you. So I'm not somebody who is like dreaming of becoming like a Marie Forleo with a company that might have like 50 or Grant Cardone, or, well, definitely not that one, but one of these people that has these like massive companies with thousands, or, well, not thousands, but hundreds of employees, and all these people that I'm managing, and like, wow, I have like this massive team of 25 coaches and 30 salespeople and marketing. That to me personally feels overwhelming. And that's not the type of business that I'm building. That doesn't mean, however, that I don't want to generate more income or that I don't want to grow. I do. But for me, it's always been about finding a formula that allows me to receive more clients without meaning that I now have become like the CEO of a like corporation where I have to do, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like all these things that are like, oh, that feels like it's kind of crazy to me. So my focus is really on how can I grow without growing beyond what feels good to me. And that comes down to a few different things. And I'm going to show you some of these things. I'm going to walk you through what we personally do to make these things happen internally in our own business. So the first thing that I feel like is very obvious, it is very obvious to me at least, and I unfortunately don't think that it's always obvious to everybody else, but is making sure that you're speaking to the right audience. And for me personally, when I talk about the right audience, I mean people that don't need hand-holding. I am not here to save anybody's life. Like, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a coach that's going to save you from like doom. Right? Like there's a drama of, you're broken and I'm here to fix you. That's not who I am. That's not who my audience is. That's not who I work with. And the thing is that I've realized over the years is that the less that you focus on these types of people that you're here to save with your magical program, that's the only thing that will work. And it's like this very like dramatic approach to messaging. The less that you do that, the more powerful the clients that you attract are going to be. My focus is on attracting people who are very self-led and self-responsible, or like responsible for themselves. And more importantly, people that are resourceful, that figure things out. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm saying I'm not going to coach anybody. Obviously, there's a lot of coaching, a lot of work that's involved in the work that I do, obviously, right? But what I'm saying is that I want to coach people that don't need me to hold their hands every second of the way in everything that they do. And like they can't figure anything out on their own. When you work with clients that are very clingy and that need you that much, it's very difficult for you to be able to expand that capacity to receive clients, because it's like every client is like a headache and it's so much space that they're taking and so much energy, and it's exhausting physically and mentally. And it's like, oh, I have a client call and oh, I have another client call. And it feels like overwhelming, right? What we do is we've moved away from that, and we really focus on communicating to people who are already taking action, who are already implementing things, who already, can figure a lot of things out. And what I do is I'm not taking them from bad to good. I'm taking them from good to great. So when you shift your audience, that in and of itself, I have a hard time saying that, is going to help you really expand that capacity to receive clients. Because if every client is self-led and they move through your process quickly, and I mean, obviously everybody has their hiccups and they have their moments and they have their, their mental things that they lead with, all of that, that's fine, or they deal with, that's fine. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you have clients that are dragging you down, it can be very difficult for you to say, I want more of them. Even if you consciously are like, I need more of them and I want more of them because I have to pay my bills, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. While on the outside, you might be saying that, on the inside, you might be like, I want to die right now. So shifting your messaging to speaking to that ready to invest client, that premium audience who is very empowered on their own and action takers and resourceful and people who will make things happen, is a really big part of you being able to expand your capacity to receive people. The second thing is tied to how you are positioning yourself as well. And it's definitely tied to that, because if you're here as the expert, people respect you in a different way, right? So I think that, I am somebody, for example, who as a coach, I am very, I have a very close relationship with my clients and I feel like we are friends, right? But there also has to be a certain level of respect in terms of how you show up as the coach and as the leader, and like setting clear boundaries on what you're open to and what you're not open to, right? So the more clear you are on establishing boundaries and establishing systems, we'll get into talking about systems in a second, to really allow like everything to be very clear for your audience, it really becomes helpful. At the end of the day, your capacity to receive clients is only going to expand if you feel like you have the capacity to receive them. If I were to tell you right now, hey, I'm going to give you 10 painful clients this week, like by the end of this week, will you be able to receive them? Yes or no? And oftentimes people will be like, yes, I want them. I want the money. I'm not asking if you want the money. I'm asking if you're able to receive those clients. Do you have the capacity within your systems, within your processes, within how you carry business, your own business, to receive and hold space for these people at the same time? Like whether you're doing one-on-one or whether you're doing group program, whatever the case is, do you have the capacity to receive these people? And if you don't, that is the reason why you're not receiving more clients, right? So it's really important for you to understand, okay, how do I attract the right person that is resourceful, that will figure things out on their own? And how do I position myself as the expert where I'm setting very clear boundaries on what's allowed and what's not allowed? And I used to be the type of person who would respond at any day, anytime, any hour, right? Like I would get a message on the weekends and I would respond. And now I don't. I simply don't. I'm pretty sure that like Tony Robbins or whatever, like these super high level leaders are not responding at every random time that they have, right? And it's really about setting those very clear boundaries. But then the other part to be able to expand your capacity to receive clients has to do with your systems. And this is one of the things that we've been focusing on a lot, because for us, we've nailed the speaking to the right audience, right? Like it's pretty crazy the type of people that we attract. We attract amazing people, like the perfect clients, these people who are ready, who are resourceful, who are ready to invest, who are moving forward, who are already value investing. Like we attract these amazing people. And I feel like I do a great job at establishing boundaries. But then what is really important is having the systems, the container, the processes that allows people to move through in a way that makes them feel held and coached and supported, and makes you feel like, oh my God, if I get 10 clients this week, I'm going to be good. Like they're held, they're supported, I'm fine. Everything is fine. So one way to solve that problem could be by you saying, okay, well, let me go hire more people in my team, right? Let me go hire 5 different coaches and a success director, or like client success director, or whatever that is. And let me hire a marketing person, and let me hire like 3 VAs and all these people. And if that is what works for you in terms of like, let me go delegate as much as possible, go do that. However, there are ways of expanding and growing your business and getting more clients that don't necessarily require more of that, but just require more structure from you. That's what I personally focus on, because like I said before, my goal isn't necessarily to become a CEO of a corporation that has like 55 employees that I have to like manage. That is not what I personally like. Personally, everybody's different. This is just what my point of view is. So for me, it's about how do I optimize my back end so that I can serve more people without feeling like this is crazy. So for me, I have two offers, right? I have a group coaching program, which I call Breakthrough Brand, and I have a one-on-one offer. And I have two versions of my one-on-one offer. One that's called Breakthrough Message and one that's called Breakthrough Marketing. And I have a good split between people enrolling into Breakthrough Brand, the group program, and my one-on-one offers. But because my messaging is really good at speaking to these high level people, I do end up enrolling a lot of one-on-one clients. So last week, for example, we enrolled 4 people into our one-on-one program, or one or the other, right? So for me, it's how do I organize my back end to make sure that I can hold space for all of these people. And I'm going to show you a little bit of what this kind of looks like so that you get an idea. So for me, what I really I'm kind of obsessed with in my own business is in how do I deliver more value? How do I make like the work that I do a no-brainer for my audience? How do I really make it so that people feel like, they're getting incredible results and they're moving forward, and it's easy for me and it's easy for them. And I'm obsessed with this. Like I am obsessed with delivering value, which means that I will re-record programs and I will re-record videos and I will make them better, and I will learn and invest in my own business and invest in my own knowledge and my own growth. And I will incorporate the things that I've learned, and I will just bring a lot of those things. And I'm constantly improving my systems, like optimizing them. And one of the things that I personally feel very proud of is the fact that everybody who's a client, whether they were a client of mine in 2016 or in 2025, everybody gets access to all the updates that I do. So for me, this is an example from Breakthrough Marketing, one of my one-on-one offers. What I do is just really focus on making everything very clear. Like, what is it exactly that I need my audience to watch? What are the things that I need them to do every step of the way? When do they book calls with me? What happens on the call with me? What do they need to focus on? So all of those things are very well kind of structured within my backend and my systems. And everything is walking them through each piece of the way. And that to me is something that feels powerful, and that feels like, whew, okay, I know that my audience is held no matter what. My clients are held in my systems no matter what, because there's a lot of very clear structure and processes and workbooks and videos and systems that will drive them each step of the way. Everybody knows exactly where they're at, exactly what's next, exactly what the big picture goal of the program is, what the system looks like. They understand everything, and I try to make it as clear as possible. And like I was saying, I consistently invest in myself and my knowledge. So if I find a process that is even more optimized, or is, like, it's just like better than mine, I will come in and I will re-record the video and I will redo the training, even if it takes work on my behalf. Like last week, I literally spent all week recording new training videos for my clients to make everything even clearer. So I will come in and I will restructure some of these things so that things are very clear to my audience and they know exactly what they need to be doing for my clients, right? Like exactly what to do. And that to me is something that allows me to expand my capacity to receive people, because their systems are holding space for me. Their systems are holding space for them. And therefore, if I had 10 clients that came in this week, I know exactly what they're getting as a result of working with me. And I mean, obviously, you can always have the choice of adding people to your team if that's something that you want. And there are certain positions that I know that I will want to be adding in the future, but that doesn't mean that I need to go out right now and hire 25 people and like go crazy. There was a coaching program that I did a while ago that said, only solve the problem that you have right now. I feel like oftentimes people focus on solving problems that don't exist yet and spending money on solving those problems. Let me hire a team. Let me hire this person and that person and just grow. And yes, obviously there's value in growth in terms of like, if I have this bigger team and now I have to work for that more and that gives me motivation. But I personally am somebody who feels like I grow my team as I see the actual need within my company and financially it makes sense. And again, my goal, like I said before, isn't to have a company with 55 employees. My goal is to keep everything as lean as possible because I value simplicity and that's just what I want, right? So, like I was saying, having great back end systems is crucial for this. Like, it is literally crucial for this. The more powerful your backend systems and the more clear all of it is, the more powerful it is. And mind you, this is breakthrough marketing. I have breakthrough message or breakthrough brand, which is my group coaching program. And I have the same back end where everything is very clear. Whether you're a one-on-one client of mine or whether you're a group coaching client of mine, I could have 10 people enroll this week into either one of those programs. And there's something that's going to happen for that person while, if it's a one-on-one client, while they wait for us to have our first call together or whatever is next for us, right? So it's really important that you have great systems in the back end that will support that process. But I do think that the key to making all of this work really well is making sure that you're attracting the right audience. If you're speaking to an audience that is disempowered, that is not resourceful, that just needs a lot of hand-holding, and if you don't have clear boundaries in place, you're going to go crazy. And there's no way for you to expand your capacity to receive clients, no matter how much you journal on it, no matter how much you're like, this is what I really want. I really desire to work with with more clients, and I want to book my program out, and I want more people, and I want this, and I want that. Okay, beautiful, great, awesome. But do you actually want them on the inside, right? Like, if you're like, ugh, I promise you, you will not be able to bring these people. So what we focus on a lot, like I was saying, is just making sure that we're speaking to that ready to invest audience. And I do have a training that speaks to this, and it's at readytoinvestclients.com. So there you're going to find the training on how to speak to the ready to invest client and how to speak to the premium person that doesn't need crazy hand holding throughout this whole process. And it makes it really more powerful. The other thing that I have for you is I have something that I call the brand message assessment. And you can find this at brandmessagesession.com. And basically what we do is I hop on a 15-minute call with you and I evaluate your current messaging, your website, your landing page, your sales page, your copy, or whatever you have. And I will give you instant feedback on what you can implement strategically in terms of your messaging to be able to attract more of those ready to invest clients, like the right people that you can expand your capacity to receive as many of them without feeling burned out or feeling overbooked or feeling like this is so difficult or this is scary or whatever that is. So make sure you go to ready to invest client or brandmessagesession.com, both of them.com, for more of that. Hopefully all of this made sense. Let me know in the comments if it resonated, if it's something that is helpful for you. I feel like for me, having great systems and great backend, literally and figuratively, it's just really something that does make a big difference in your capacity to receive clients. Because if you are in a place where you're like, my system can hold as many clients as possible, it makes a difference. And this isn't just about like, oh, let me have a pretty website, which I'm always going to be an advocate for, but this is really about how do you have a back-end system that will hold space for these people so that I can allow more people to come in and I'm not creating resistance and fear around like, oh, I have clients coming in. What do I do? I'm going to go crazy. We don't want any resistance. If you create resistance, you're going to repel clients, right? We want to have everything in place that feels good so that you can bring these people in. So hopefully that made sense, and I will see you in another episode.